What's up everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to talk about prop firms and everything you need to know about trading with prop firms. I'm also going to give you a few tips, what to look out for, and also my journey trading prop firms. So stay tuned throughout the entire video. At the end, I'm also going to show you how to buy a challenge in a prop firm, and I'm also going to go through a quick trade recap. So let's get into the video. So let me give you a quick explanation of what a prop firm is. A prop firm is basically a company that funds traders with large amounts of capital, and you just basically pay a small fee to do a challenge with that company, and they basically see if you can stay within the risk parameters and achieve a certain profit target. Then they basically fund you with capital. So I'm going to go through that in depth later on in the video, where I'm going to show you on my laptop screen just how the challenges work and the verification works and all that kinds of stuff. So about 3 years ago, I came across prop firms. And before I came across prop firms in trading, I was basically trading with my own capital and my own savings, just with all the spare money I could put aside, I put into my trading account to trade with that money. And we all know when you trade with small amounts of money or with your own money, it's just so much more emotional, and you just cannot risk too much, or you risk too much. That's the thing when you trade with your own capital, your own small account, and you try and flip, for example, $1,000 into $10,000 and that kinds of stuff, which is possible. But the thing is, it's difficult, and very risky. But I came across prop firms, and the first company I came across was FTMO. And I just couldn't believe it, because you can pay a small amount of money, for example, let's say 540 euros or $700 or whatever, and you can purchase a challenge by a company to possibly get large amounts of funding. For example, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. And when I saw that for the first time, I just could not believe it. Because I was like, if I had to save this amount of money, for example, $100,000, how long would it take me? And if I had to flip a trading account into $100,000, how risky is it? And how long is it also going to take me? And how much am I willing to risk to do that? So I just could not believe that prop firms were actually around, and it just opened my eyes to so much more potential. And the thing is, with prop firms, it gives you so much. It just opens the gates for you to really become a successful and profitable trader. I just also want to say that you really have to be careful with which prop firms you go, because the thing is, there's so many prop firms popping up every single day on a daily basis, and they're promising big returns and basically free challenges and all that kinds of stuff. And you really have to beware with which prop firm you go. And I would definitely say do your research and go for a prop firm that's been around for a very, very long time. Because recently there was a prop firm that just closed down. They were about 3 years old, and they were probably one of the biggest. And then all of a sudden the prop firm just closed down because I think they were just growing too fast. And of course they had a court case against them and all that kinds of stuff. So that whole thing is in the process at the moment. So as I'm saying, do your research. And that's why I'm going to give you a prop firm that I've been trading with for about 3 years now. And they are basically the most trusted in the industry at the moment. And their name is FTMO. And they've been around for about 8 years right now. So that's definitely someone I would trust more. But I'd still say be careful, because nothing is promised. Any company can close tomorrow. Because how do prop firms actually make money? Well, you've probably heard of the 90-90-90 rule, which means 90% of traders lose 90% of the capital within 90 days. And the other statistics are that 95% of day traders are not profitable. I think that number is a bit higher, but the odds are against people wanting to start to trade, because they want to start trading without a profitable strategy and they do not have the right knowledge. So that's how prop firms basically make money. Because as I mentioned, most people are losing money. And so let's say day traders like me and you, if you're watching this video and you're also into trading, when you want to get started with trading and you see a prop firm, for example, for the first time, or you've heard of a prop firm, you can see that you can manage so much money and you're thinking about getting rich quick. So you want to do this challenge, get $100,000 in funding, make 20%, and then you've made about $20,000. Of course, they take their profit split. So let's say you make $16,000, for example, and you think you're going to get rich overnight. So people are greedy with the prop firms. So they are just buying challenge after challenge after challenge. And I would highly recommend to not do that. As I said, have a profitable strategy before you start trading with a prop firm. And that is how they make money. Because let's say, for example, 10,000 people buy a challenge of, let's call it 500 euros, for example. I mean, how much money are they making? And the amount of people who are actually getting funded and withdrawing money is so little. The percentage is, I think, less than 5% or something like that. So you can just go double check that. But last time I read, I think it's about less than 3% of people actually get to their first withdrawal with a prop firm. So, the odds are basically against you, and that's how prop firms earn a lot of money. And of course, when you trade with capital, then I think they still take a profit percentage of what you earn. But I think the largest amount of money they make is basically on people that are failing and just purchasing too many challenges. So how do I approach trading with prop firms? I basically approach it in the way that I want to take the capital and the money and the profits that I make from the prop firm. I want to withdraw it as quickly as possible and put it into my personal trading account. And I would suggest that for you as well. As I said, anything can happen, while there's prop firms around, take advantage of it and use the profits you make there and fund your personal account and grow your personal account with compound interest. Especially with the way I trade, I basically always only risk 1% per trade of my account. But think about it, if I'm risking 1%, the more money I'm making, the 1% is getting bigger. And that's the benefit when you compound your account. And when your account gets smaller, your 1% is also getting less. So that's the benefit when you take your profits, build a big personal account, and that's there forever for you to trade and to access. And that's another thing with prop firms. They basically give you $100,000 in funding, but you cannot withdraw anything out of that $100,000. You can only withdraw the profits you earn on that capital. So if your account's in $1,000 loss, you cannot go and withdraw $1,000 and then you have $98,000. That's not how it works. You have to make profits and then you get your profit share from the profit you make. Something else I just want to mention as well is that most people never get to the stage on a prop firm where they actually withdraw funds from the market. Because a lot of times what happens is, let's say you have a profitable strategy and you pass the first challenge of the prop firm, then you get to the verification stage and you pass that as well, and then you get to the funding stage. So then you get funding, you get access to your account that you've passed or the challenge that you've passed. And then what starts happening, you start getting greedy and you start over trading and start losing a lot of money quickly and possibly lose your funded account. So that's a thing. You just have to stay in that mindset of sticking to your strategy and trading your funded account exactly the way you would trade your personal private account. So your mindset must not change. Because a lot of times what happens is, let's say you trade an account of, let's say, $1,000, which is not so much money. And then all of a sudden you get funding of $100,000. Now, all of a sudden you see this big amount of money and you start stressing and over trading, as I mentioned, and you just want to make money quickly. So as I said, have a neutral mindset and just stay to the way you trade your personal account. So guys, what I'm going to quickly now do, I'm going to quickly show you on my screen just the way the prop firms work, and then you guys can see how you buy a challenge and all that kinds of stuff. So as you can see, this is FTMO's website. So let me quickly just take you through it. So you'll see they've been around since 2015, which is why I trust them so much more than most of the other prop firms popping up, because you want to have peace of mind when you trade with their capital. And as I said, they've been around 8 years, and that's not to say they're ever going to be around forever, but that's why I gave you guys the tips on to use your profits for your personal accounts. So you'll just see you can trade up to $200,000. That's per challenge. So you can do a $200,000 challenge or two $100,000 challenges. I'll show you that right now. But here's the challenge if you want to buy one. And then here's the free trial. I'll definitely recommend starting off doing a free trial just to get used to their risk parameters and all that kinds of stuff. You'll see on Trustpilot they have more than 6,000 reviews and their score is 4.9. So you can go read some of the reviews. 4.9 is very high out of so many reviews. And then you'll see they've paid out more than $167 million to FTMO traders, which is a huge amount of money. And there's a few other statistics here. Then you'll see these are all the awards they've won. You can also go onto the YouTube channel where they interview a lot of successful traders and that have made big profits through FTMO, and they give tips on how they trade and how they become successful. So I love watching their videos. That's actually how I came across FTMO. One of their YouTube videos popped up and I saw that they fund traders. That's actually the way I came across them and across prop firms. Then if I go down, you'll see these are the steps, but I'll go through that right now. So here it says know your trading objectives. This is very important. So I'm going to go through them quickly. Here's the currency pairs you can trade. So when you do a challenge, you can select one of these currency pairs and that's the currency pair you trade with. Then you'll see there's two different risks, normal and aggressive. Aggressive is basically double the risk. So not double the risk, so you get double the amount of like leniency, if I can say it like that. So you'll see here's normal. So if I say normal, you'll see your maximum loss is $500, which is 5%, and on aggressive it's 10%. Your profit target is also then doubled to 20% and not 10%, and your maximum loss is 20% and not 10%. So you'll see all of those kinds of stuff differs when you do the aggressive model. So I'm just going to quickly show you how it works. These are the balances you can do challenges on: 10,000, 25,000, 50, 100, and 200. The maximum funding, I know you can do challenges up to $400,000. So you can be maximally funded up to $400,000. And then later on, FTMO can scale your account up by 25% every 4 months if you have a profit of 10% plus over a 4-month period, and every month must be profitable. So you can just go read up on that on their website. It is here somewhere, but let me quickly explain it. So there's 3 steps. The first step is your challenge, the second step is your verification, and the third step is your becoming an FTMO trader. So your trading period is unlimited, so you have unlimited days to reach the target profit of 10%. So I'm just going to say percentages, because on all of these accounts, your percentage stays the same. So you have a minimum trading days of 4. So you have 4 days minimum that you have to open a trade. Your max daily loss is 5%. You cannot lose more than 5%, otherwise you fail the challenge. Your maximum loss is 10%. You cannot lose more than 10% of the account, otherwise you fail the challenge. And your profit target is 10%. So you have to reach 10% profit, then you pass your FTMO challenge. And then you go through to step 2, which is your verification. So trading period stays unlimited. Your trading days are 4 days now, still 4 days. And then your maximum daily loss is still 5%. Your maximum loss stays on 10%. And your profit target is now 5%. So it's half of what it was on the first phase or on your challenge phase. And you do not pay for that. Then the third step, if you do meet this, make 5% profit on verification and stay within these parameters, then you become an FTMO trader, where you then have unlimited trading days. You have a minimum trading days of 0 because you can trade whenever you want to. And you have a max daily loss of 5% and a maximum loss of 10%. So this stays the same throughout, but you cannot lose more than 5% in one day or 10% on your funded account. Then you lose your funded account. And when you lose your funded account, you basically have to restart and do a new challenge. and then you get your refund. But I just want to say, when you do get your refund, you only get it after your first withdrawal or with your first withdrawal. So you first need to make profit as a funded trader before you can get your refund of your challenge fee. But I mean, think about it. If you have a profitable strategy and you are successful in trading, or you have a plan that works, then I mean, 155 euros to get $10,000 in funding is not a lot. Even if you look at the $100,000, it's 540 euros and you can get funded with $100,000. Let's say you make 5% on $100,000. After they take your profit split, you make let's say $4,000, because they take 20% and you keep, as a trader, 80% of all profits you earn. So the 80% of profits you earn and you keep, so you make, let's say 5%, you make $4,000. Just think about it. For you to make $4,000 on a 540 euro account, how long is that going to take you? Because that's what I'm saying. Look at Profums as a gateway to get you in a position to trade a large private personal account, because you can use all your profits, put it in your private account and build that up. Then so guys, go and do your research, go read through everything, and you'll see the last thing is, I just want to say, you get a swing account and you get a normal account. So your normal account is where when there's news events, big news releases, and over weekends, you cannot hold trades on your normal FTMO account. And then on the swing account, you can hold trades over weekends and through big news releases. So I do not look at news, except NFP, I do not trade on that day. But other than that, on all other days, if there's news, I don't really look at it. And that's why I trade the swing account. Your leverage is just less, 1 to 30. But when you're trading such a large account, that doesn't really affect it. And on the normal account, it's 1 to 100 leverage. So yes, and here's the scaling plan. So guys, go read through it. But I just wanted to give you a brief intro of the FTMO platform and how to become a prop firm trader. So I also just wanted to quickly just run through a quick trade recaps for last week. It wasn't a big week for me, but I just wanted to quickly run through this. So here was a nice trade on AUD USD, and this is a high probability trade for me. As you can see, it was a gap over the weekend. The gap got filled, and then this was last week, not the week that just finished, the previous week. And as you can see, we broke this high and we had this 2 candle strong impulse. We had no shift in momentum there. That gave me a sign to place my trade. You'll see it was 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. And then I got tagged into the trade. And I just want to see my pips was 13 pip stop loss. And then you'll see I just got taken out of the trade. So there I took a 1% loss last week. Not too sad about it. That is part of trading. And then I just want to quickly show you one other trade real quick. One that I took on the close last week, Friday. So let me quickly run through this. There's my low and there is my high. So you'll see we had a very nice impulse to the downside. For me, it shows that the pair wants to continue with momentum. So let me just put my bar replay tool on. As you can see, we had a high, low, broke the high. After that big impulse, it looked like the sellers were in the market and that price wanted to continue down. So after I got that retrace candle, you can see it was about Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning. I then placed my trade. So let me just quickly get my selling tool, short position. So you see that gave me confidence to take that trade. I then sold there, because this is a bomb setup for me, as Joshua Bunker calls it. So let me just put that off. So there's my line. And then you'll see that's where I entered the trade. Okay, so there you'll see the trade started dropping. Almost took me out at one stage. I then could reduce my risk over here. So I could, here's my high. So you'll see I reduced risk to about, I think it was about 0.2% or something like that. And then you'll see the pair, or the trade kept on dropping. Around 8 o'clock, I closed this trade. So let me just put it there. 8 o'clock around there. I made about 2% on this trade. So you'll see I took one loss the beginning of the week, lost 1%, and then I took this trade the end of the week. I closed at 8 o'clock because I'm just scared of the war in Israel, all that kinds of stuff. I'm scared of large gaps over the weekend. just a bit uncertain about that. I don't know what can happen. So I then close the trade before before market close on Friday. So yeah, I just wanted to run through those two trades. It was a 1% week, not a massive week. The markets are currently very choppy as well. So yeah, I'm just positive to see what happens in the future, because I see it's ranging a lot currently, but I'm sure we will get setups. I'm also going to start doing a weekly trade forecast just to show you what I'm looking for in the markets, but I'll do that every Sunday or Monday. I'm going to see when I can do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my trade recap. Here's one final tip of the video, and I just want to say you have to have a profitable trading strategy before you do a prop firm challenge. So make sure your strategy is profitable, and also go through all the rules on the challenge you are attempting to take on a prop firm. Make sure you know how much your risk is if you're risking 1%. Work out your lot sizes before the time and go through all that kinds of stuff, and make sure your strategy is profitable before you just take on a challenge. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next video, and thank you so much for the support so far. Remember to like and subscribe, and then I'll see you on the next video.